Hello, I'm John Adams and welcome to this video lesson which is all about how to use the calendar templates you'll find on the CD. Now, the digital photo calendars have become something of an institution over the years, and it's easy to see why, because everybody loves to make a custom, bespoke calendar for their friends and family. I think it's really satisfying simply because you get to display your pictures all year round. So even if people won't have them on the wall, at least they'll be pinned on the notice board in the kitchen or maybe stuck on the fridge with a magnet. But however they get displayed, I think you'll agree it's a fabulous way of presenting your work. So let's get stuck in and see how the templates work. Right, well on the disk you find lots and lots of templates. Let's just have a quick look at them. If we go to File, Open, if you find the calendars there, Calendars 2011, doesn't mean there's 2011 of them, that's the year. What we have are a number of folders. We've got Art Horizontal with a selection of calendars in, and these are all called Art_H. So horizontal is signified by the H, and art means it's got an arty border, a bit like the one you can see on screen here, a nice arty, scratchy border for the kind of images that suit that presentation technique. We also have vertical shots as well. So if we pop back to the folder, you can see there's the vertical shots, and these of course will be in portrait format. Then there's also the covers, which we'll come on to in a little while. There's also normal horizontal and normal vertical. These are just normal squared off borders at roughly a 3:2 ratio, so your picture should fit in there quite nicely. Okay, so A stands for art, H stands for horizontal, V stands for vertical, and they all work in exactly the same way. So let's look at the covers, because that's got an added layer of complication. Well, it's not complicated, it's just a layer of text. So instead of JPEG format, the covers are actually in PSD, in Photoshop format. So they'll open into Elements or Photoshop, and you have a text layer where you can add your name to the calendar. So we're going to do a technique now using the cover. I've got one up on screen at the moment. What we're going to do is add a picture to this aperture, this window here in the calendar, and then once we've done that and got it to the right size and shape, we're then going to add our name to it so we can kind of show off and let everyone know that we took the pictures. Okay, so let's get started. I'm just going to close this example down. You go onto the CD, go to File, Open, and in the Covers folder, you need to open up, what should we go for? We'll go for Cover 11 Art Vertical. So that's Cover 11 Art V. Open that one. That'll come up on screen. Now I'm going to get the Layers palette up, so to do that, go to Window and choose Layers. Mine's already ticked here because it's hanging off the side of the screen, so I'm just going to drag it on so it's up on view all the time. There we go. What you've got is Background. That's our calendar template, and we've got a text layer which says photography by your name in here. We're going to come on to that later. Make sure the background is selected. What we're going to do now is choose the picture we're going to use as our lead image, our cover image. Now you can go for whatever you want. Of course, if your picture's horizontal, you need a horizontal template instead, but I'm just going to pop up to File, Open, and find something from a small collection here. There we go. I'm going to go for bleetarn.jpg. Nice shot from the Lake District, there it is. What I'm going to do now is, with the Bleetarn image up on screen, I'm going to hit Control and A, which is the same as going to Select and choosing All, Control and A. Then once I've done that, I'm going to copy it by going to Control and C. Longhand for that is Edit and Copy, Control and C. And then I'm going to close it down with Control and W. This will bring us back to our calendar picture there. And what we're going to do now is, with that selected, we're just going to hit Control and V, which is Edit Paste, and it will paste it straight over the top. So if we look at the layers now, what we've got is our picture floating above the background in a new Layer 1. And that's exactly what we want to do, because this Layer 1 is the thing we're going to change. We're going to change the blending mode on that layer. So with that selected, click where it says Normal, and from the drop-down list, choose Screen. And by magic, Layer 1 appears through the window aperture. Now you can see it in the lettering as well, but don't worry too much about that, because we're going to now resize this image to suit the template. This is easy to do. All you've got to do is hit Control and T on the keyboard, and that takes you into free transform mode. Now we can't see the bounding box at the moment, so what we're going to do is create a bit more room around the canvas. To do that, hold down Control and tap the minus key a few times. There we go. This is our bounding box for our transform tool, and now we're just going to move these corner handles to make the image fit. Now make sure that Constrain Proportions is ticked in the options bar. If it's not, you can just hold Shift down on the keyboard instead. Then we just drag these corner handles, move them inwards, just to get the image looking good within that frame. Don't go over the edge, because we want that nice scratchy border to be part of the image. There we go. And I think that's the kind of thing there. That's looking good. You can now move it around. You can move it exactly where you like. That looks pretty good there. Yep, I'm happy with that. If you need to fine-tune the position, you can actually use the cursor keys instead on the keyboard, just the arrow keys, and you can nudge it up and down incrementally, pixel by pixel. But once you've done that and you're happy, you've got three options: double-click inside the bounding box, hit return on the keyboard, or click the green tick there. And once you do that, the transform will be processed and your image will be resized. I'll just double-click the hand tool to come back to full screen. There we go. And there's our image sitting beautifully in the frame. Now that technique you can use for each and every calendar template, but the covers, as I mentioned earlier, are a little bit special because we have some text as well. If I just pick on the magnifying glass there and just zoom in down the bottom here, you'll see it says photography by your name in here. And of course you don't want to leave it like that, so we're going to edit the text. You'll see in the layers palette we've got this T layer at the top. If you click on that, and then double click where it says T, the whole lot will be highlighted. Now we're in text editing mode. All you got to do is highlight the bit that says your name in here, just like you would with a word processor or something, and then type your name. So there we go. Oops, forgot the space between the John and the Adams. Not to worry. There we go, photography by John Adams. Once that's done, you just need to click on another tool to come out of text editing mode. So just quickly switch the move tool, and that's done. And then double click your hand tool to go back to full screen. And there's our calendar cover. Now once you've done all of that, all you've got to do is flatten the image and save it under a new name. This is quite important. You don't want to just flatten it and then save it, because you'll write straight over the top of the template and you won't be able to use it again properly. So all you want to do instead is go up to Layer, choose Flatten Image, then it's all crunched down into one background layer. Then all you have to do is go to File, Save As, and save it under a different name, wherever you like on your system. Okay, so that's the basic use of the calendars and how to use the templates as they are with your images. But there are ways of being more creative with the calendar templates if you want to do that, and that's what we'll look at in the next video. So load that up next and you'll see how you can customize your calendars and really put your own stamp on them. Alright, thanks for listening and see you soon.